an accident waiting to happen.
Stephen A, hush your mouth, talking all that noise. You can hate all you want, but we still them boys. Dirty, dirty D, Texas where we stay at. We decide in order till you know that's where we play at. Hey, this year, this the payback. Yeah, we them Cowboys, and nah, we don't play that. Work. This is Cowboy Nation. Work. Welcome to Cowboy Nation. Work. Y'all can keep on hate. Work.
Cowboys Nation, Cowboys Nation, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to another episode of Defending the Boys. I am your host, D. Will, and today we are going to be talking a little bit about injury reports. Before we get into the injury report, however, I do want to ask for you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and hit the like button. Let's show the algorithms that you guys are really following and liking the stuff that I actually put out. Okay. This episode is actually brought to you by the Car Wreck Attorneys at 1-833 Oh I'm Hit. That's 1-833-644-6448. If you ever hurt in a car accident, give them a phone call, 1-833-644-6448, anywhere in DFW. As a matter of fact, anywhere in the state of Texas, you can actually give them a phone call and they'll be able to give you guys some help. They're not one of those attorney firms like some of these other guys are repping, where if you get into a situation and it costs too much, then that they don't want to go to court for you. No, this is a company that will go to court and fight on your behalf. They're going to take it all the way to the end with it. So give them a phone call, 1-833-644-6448. Tell them D. Will sent you, all right? All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about the injury report. Some people say the injury report is in Detroit's favor. Some people say it's in Dallas's favor. I personally believe that Detroit has some issues. Now, I will say, as far as the defensive back is concerned, what was his name? Terrion Arnold. That's his name, Terrion Arnold. They did put him on injured reserve. At the beginning of the year, they definitely had, some stuff that they wanted to get out of him. But I don't believe that, at this part of the season, he just hasn't played that much. It's hard for me to feel like that it's a big loss for them, simply because they've been doing a lot without him already. So they ought to be kind of used to it. But it is a man down when you have to try to figure out how to guard George Pickens, and then how to guard CeeDee Lamb, and then how to do something with Cavante Turpin, and then how to figure out what's going on with with Fergie baby in the middle. I guess you would definitely want to have all the defensive backs that you could possibly have. Not having him definitely is a little bit of a problem. I think the bigger problem for Detroit is going to be Amon-Ra St. Brown. He is doubtful to play this coming up week. As a matter of fact, I doubt. I personally thought that he was going to try to play, but even if he does, I mean, that ankle, they expect him to be out a couple of weeks, so he should definitely be out this week. And maybe even next week for them, which does start to hurt their playoff chances if they're going to have to play games without him. They still have a very dynamic run game. They also have Williams on the other side, who is a very speedy wide receiver, but now you kind of taking them down to basically one wide receiver to worry about. And then, of course, the run game. That gives our defense a little bit of something. And I've already said they have problems with their offensive line from an injury standpoint, season-ending injury standpoint. So they got backups on their offensive line. They're going to have problems trying to figure out what's going on with the front three is what I call them. But, I mean, obviously the front five of the Dallas Cowboys. So when you start talking about Quinnen Williams and you got backups in, and also Odighizuwa and you got backups in, and Kenny Clark and you got backups in, Jadeveon Clowney and you got backups in. That Clowney is one that is on our injury report. Everybody's been kind of guessing at whether or not he will play. He's had the injury since the Raiders game. So I know that they were talking about the neck injury before the Raiders game. He was kind of a game time decision then, and he ended up playing. Apparently in the Kansas City game, he kind of re-aggravated it. So again, he's going to be a game time decision. We'll kind of see where they go from there. Let's look up who else is on the report for the Cowboys. Deron Bland has a foot issue, but he's limited. He's probably going to play. Donovan Wilson is still on the injury report with his neck issue. He was limited in practice, but he's definitely, in my opinion, going to play. Obviously, Trayvon Diggs and his knee is still on here, but I've been told that Trayvon Diggs was going to actually play this week. Tyler Guyton is one at left tackle that I've already mentioned in one of my other videos. He may not actually, well, matter of fact, he definitely is not going to be playing this game. We're going to be playing another game with Nate Thomas. I think that from our standpoint, that is one of the things that we need to consider the most in making sure that we give him help. I feel like um, the edges for Detroit are better than the edges for Kansas City. I think I may have just said that the pass rush beforehand, and not giving a lot of credit to Chris Jones for Kansas City, but that's not exactly the part that I was talking about. I was really talking about the pass rush. So from a pass rush standpoint, I feel like the pass rush or the edges for Detroit with Hutchinson and company are a little bit better than what we saw with Kansas City. And so even though he did a great job against Kansas City, he may need a little more help or maybe not. I mean, he played a good game, so he may be able to handle it himself as we start to look at him possibly taking over a starting tackle job either in the near future or definitely by next year. So we'll really get an idea of what Nate Thomas can do, but we may have to leave some tight ends over there, throw our running back over there, do some things like that just to ensure that we can, get through this game. But I do believe that their injuries, not having that wide receiver, is a little more detrimental to them than our injury not having that tackle is to us. Additionally, Jadeveon Clowney was on there, but we've already spoken about him. For Detroit, we talked about Amon-Ra St. Brown, his ankle. I don't think that he's going to play. Terrion Arnold was the cornerback that I told you about that is on injured reserve now, so he's definitely not playing. Taylor Decker, the shoulder, they have him as limited. That's the left tackle. I believe that he's actually going to be playing. The right tackle and Penei Sewell is limited. I think again that he's going to be playing. It goes right back to again you're playing injured players against our very good defensive line. I think our pass rush is really going to have an opportunity because they already had issues in the center. They were trying to bring back a retired center. He's not coming back because he had a pulled hamstring. So I don't even know how you not know you have a pulled hamstring? Like, you mean tell me you was gonna come out and you didn't know that you ain't ran at all? You ain't did no running. But anyway, I don't know what they were trying to do with the center, but he's not coming back. So they're stuck with who they currently have. That's going to be a problem for them. It's been a problem for them all year. It's definitely going to be a problem this game. They also have Khalif Raymond is a wide receiver. They say he's likely out with an ankle. Kirby Joseph is a safety. He was limited with a knee. And then Shane, which is one of their tight ends. I don't know how Zalistra. I don't know how to say his last name, but one of their tight ends did not participate in practice either. And that's the information that we have from an injury report. I think that, in my opinion, they got a lot more stuff going on from an injury standpoint that's really going to put them at a disadvantage. It doesn't take away from the fact that they have two incredible running backs. But again, if you're having issues with your offensive line, it gives us a better opportunity to be able to slow down that running game. And if we slow down that running game and make it one dimensional, they really start to be in trouble. I mean, the best that they can look for at that point is screen games, dumping out to the flats to the wide receivers, trying to give them the ball in space so that they can try to make some plays. We're really going to need the speed of Overshawn in this game to try to eliminate a lot of that. I will say one thing: Quentin Williams runs sideline. I mean, it's a big boy, but he will go sideline to sideline. He doesn't just stand in the middle and keep everything out and don't go after the play. He definitely goes after the run sideline to sideline, and I love that for him. So just because I'm telling you that they have a great offense and they have a great running game, I'm not saying the Cowboys can't do anything to stop them. I'm just saying, hey, we definitely got to pay attention to it. But with these injuries, I feel like that puts the Cowboys at a little bit of an advantage because, again, you're missing one of your starting star wide receivers. And I feel like you're going to have to try to keep up in this game from a point standpoint. You're not going to be able to do that with a hobbled offensive line and down one of your best wide receivers. Well, that's pretty much all I got for you on the injury report today. I'll keep you guys in tune with that. Tomorrow, we're definitely going to be discussing the AI, the Neuro Edge AI program is going to tell us how it feels the game is going to go with all of the injuries and everything that's going on right now with both teams. Let's see who they say is actually going to win. Y'all guys tune in tomorrow. I'm your boy D Will. This is Defending the Boys. I'm out.